I've got a drawing that's been sent from an engineer, and it has contours that I'd like to turn into a surface in Microsurvey CAD. If I check on these contours, I can see in their properties that it is an AECCDB surface tin. So what that means is this is a Civil 3D entity, and it's something that isn't recognized as a regular drawing entity. It seems that it's not too hard to turn this into useful contours with elevations. So first step we'll do is we'll explode the AECC surface tin. So I've selected it and I'm going to explode it once. And then I find when I select it again, it shows as a block reference. So we just need to explode it one more time. And now when I select on one of those sample lines, it views as a polyline. And if I check on this one here, for example, I can verify in its properties that it has the elevation of 520, and that matches what's been labeled. So I'm happy that these polylines can be used to create a surface, and that the surface will accurately reproduce what the Civil 3D software did. So next thing that I'll do is I'll just isolate the layer so that I only have the contours so I can create a surface. So I'll use under MS Tools, we've got the Layer Isolate tool. I'll pick one of those contours and hit Enter. Everything else is now thawed. Now I'm going to create a surface. Go over to, where am I going? MS Modeling. Sorry, I want MS, no, I do want MS Modeling. Okay, here we go. And extract to surface. I'll use the default name, I'll say OK, and I can just window in all those contours. And this is going to be a big complex surface. I'll hit enter. It was 4,000 points. And now what I want to do is create a tin just to display that surface and inspect it. So over to the tin function, and I'll tell it I want to show a tin for the ground surface, and just enter to tell it to show me the surface. So there's my tin, created according to what the default settings are, and the default settings will also include connecting any points that are greater than 999. I think what I'd like to do is tidy it up a bit, so I'm going to go into the advanced settings over here, and I'm going to go to grids, and I'd like to reduce the length of the tin triangles. And actually, let me do a little check here first. I'm going to use the distance command. And I want to find out what that distance was there, because that's a lot greater than I wanted. It's 721 meters. So I think what I'll do is I'll set the maximum triangle length so that, let's say I don't want this one to connect here as well. So I'll just repeat that command. I'd like that to define, okay, so we're looking at, let's make sure that I was just doing a 2D check. I'm just going to make sure I don't snap to anything. So 285. So I think what I'll do is I'll make my maximum triangle length 250. So back into those advanced settings, we go to grids, and 999 is the current maximum triangle length. I'm going to make it 250. Now that I've changed that setting, anytime you change one of the advanced settings, the next thing you need to do is clear the tin and recreate it. So I'll just do clear parts, get rid of the tin, say OK. And we've still got the surface. All we have to do is recreate the tin, and now it will look a little bit different. So go for ground and go for show. So you see how now it's not extrapolating as big a distance all the way through. Okay, at that point, I'm happy with this surface. Now, what can I do with that surface? I can, of course, perform modeling or volume operations, but in this example, I would like to save that surface, and I'll show you how to save it to two different formats. So under surface operations, we can write a QSB, and I'll just call it surface. So this will allow you to save the surface so that it can be used by either Field Genius or Microsurvey CAD products. And that one's already saved, so it can be reread later on. Or, very often, if you need to send files to other software, then you want to use the LandXML format. So I'll do a LandXML export. give it a name. And then it'll ask me for what elements from the drawing do I want to export. And from here, I've only got a single surface called ground. I will export it. Okay, and you can see down in the command line that a new file has been created. So this is a file that could be emailed to somebody who wants to use the surface in machine control or Civil 3D or in Field Genius or a variety of other data collection systems. Thanks for following.